if I just made Instant Pot lemons? I consulted with my Instant Pot and it said to me, that's hell yes in Instant Pots. Shockingly enough, Instant Pot lemons take...
Lemons in the Instant Pot? I guess we can give that a try. So yeah, lemons. I was looking at a cooking forum on the internet the other day and I saw someone had posted a message asking if anybody had tried using the Instant Pot to cook lemons, because there was someone with a video who really liked to eat lemons, and she had tried to cook lemons in the Instant Pot and she found that she just liked to eat them straight from the Instant Pot, which sounds really strange. But on the one hand, but on the other hand, I really like citrus. So I thought, let's apply this idea to several forms of citrus and just see what happens. And when I think about processing lemons, I think about preserving lemons. And that's something that I've actually never done before, even though I hear that if you preserve lemons, you can get an intense lemon flavor without all of the sourness and without some of the bitterness as well. So we're gonna try that out first, then we're gonna Instant Pot lemons. Now, to preserve lemons, you want to essentially pack them in salt. The salt is going to inhibit the growth of bacteria and it's going to transform the lemons into something that we can use in various recipes. Here's what you need to do for this recipe. First, you need a few lemons, and I've got a few. And I decided to use lemons that I just got from the supermarket. They're not organic. Some people recommend you use organic lemons, I guess because of the pesticides that are on the outside. What I did is I just clean these lemons really thoroughly. I soak them in a vinegar and water bath, about 1 part vinegar to 9 parts water. And then I just scrub them a little bit just to make sure the outsides were clean, because you're essentially going to be eating the rinds of these lemons for both of the recipes that we're doing today. Okay, so we want to cut the tip of the lemon off. That probably was a little bit too much to cut off. You want to reserve, remember that rind is what you're going to be eating. And you take the lemon and split it into quarters so that you've got, not all the way down, leave the bottom intact so that you can separate the quarters, like so. Okay, now what we're preparing these lemons for is for packing in a canning jar. So it's a pint jar. Before I put any lemons in, I'm going to use a teaspoon of salt on the bottom. There's quite a bit of salt in this recipe. You're not going to eat all that salt. It's just there to preserve the lemons. Okay, 1 teaspoon of salt for the jar. Let me separate out these pieces of a lemon. Okay. Now another teaspoon of salt is going to be kind of packed into the middle of this lemon here. Oops, it came apart. That's really not a problem. Okay, just spread that, a teaspoon of salt on the inside of the lemon. We're just going to kind of jam it back together. And then I'm going to jam this lemon. Probably good that it came apart because I'm not going to get it all in there. Whoops. Together. Okay. So you can see I've got the first lemon in the jar. And once you got a lemon in the jar, you add another teaspoon of salt over that lemon. And we're going to continue like this, fitting a few lemons into this jar. Now this last lemon isn't going to all fit in there. What I'm using this for is, what we want is, we want a good deal of lemon juice in here. Okay. So ultimately what we want is this jar to be halfway full of lemon juice. And I'm going to top it off with some salt. All right, now I'm going to close it up. The plan here is to take this jar, leave it out on the counter for 3 days, and over those 3 days, revisit the jar, invert it, shake it up a little bit, mix around the salt and lemon juice mixture, and then after those 3 days, put it in the refrigerator for 3 weeks. Then when that 3 weeks is up, we're going to check out these lemons and see what they might be good for. Okay, for the next recipe, we're going to use the Instant Pot. Instead of preserving the lemons, we're going to cook them. They're intended for snacking, at least that's the story, and I prefer my citrus to be a little bit sweet. So what we're going to do is very simple. I'm going to take the rack from the Instant Pot, place it in the pot, and we are going to, I think, quarter up these. So these are already quarters. Place them on the bottom of the Instant Pot. Let's try a lime here. Limes have a lot thinner skin, but they do have a lot of flavor in them. So maybe we'll get something out of the lime, even though I haven't seen whether that's a good thing to do. We've got an orange. Obviously, people just eat oranges. Before I sprinkle the sugar on, I'm going to place, I'm not sure how much water I need. This is a cup here. I'm going to go for about 3/4 of a cup. And I'm just going to sprinkle generously. All right, so what the recipe said was that once you've got it in this state, you put the top on your Instant Pot, and then what you want to do is set it for, all right, I went back and checked, and there wasn't a specific time that anybody mentioned doing this for, so I'm going to reduce it because that seems like a lot of time. We're going to do it for 7 minutes. Turn it to sealing and let it sit. See what happens in a few minutes. Oh, hey, look, it's done. Looks like it's been done for about 6 minutes, so let's vent it. And let me get a dish. All right, it smells really, actually it smells like a Mai Tai. That's probably the orange. Okay, a lot of steam, and it's really hot. Okay, 7 minutes may not have been enough. Let's take a look at this. This is one of the lemons. Oh, it's really soft. 7 minutes is probably enough. Okay. So let's get one of each. Okay, so the texture is, it seems very soft. This is going to be easy to eat. So, give you a look at those. You can see that the color has gotten darker, especially on the lime. The lime is really actually dramatic, and the rinds are very soft. They're just extremely soft. So I'm going to try to cut a little piece off and have a taste. I'll start with the lemon since that was the original plan. I don't know if any of the sugar has stayed on there. It smells, it almost smells like candy, actually, like citrus candy. Okay, so the flesh of the pulp of the lemon is still a little bit sour, still tastes a little bit like lemon juice, hasn't lost that, but it's very subdued, and the rind is just soft. It falls right apart in your mouth. So I'm actually going to try to dip this in a little bit of sugar to get an idea of whether there's kind of a candy effect. So with the sugar, it tastes a little bit like like the filling of some kind of a fruit-flavored pie or something. Like it definitely has cooked down into a consistency where it's not at all like a rind anymore. So let's try the lime. It tastes like if you've ever had those lime those citrus flavored candy wedges. That's what the lime reminds me of. It's only slightly tart, and with the sugar, it tastes like candy. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try the orange. Orange rind, in this case, isn't great, but mostly because the flavor doesn't really stand out. Whereas the lemon and the lime actually kind of have an interesting flavor. So what I'm gonna do with the lemon and the lime is I'm gonna let them cool, and then I'm gonna vacuum seal them and store them for a future recipe while I think about what I might want to use them for. So what I'd like you to do is, if you think this video is interesting, if you've never seen this before, give the video a like. Subscribe if you want to see the upcoming videos that we plan to make. And leave a comment if you have an idea of how to use the cooked candied lemons and limes, or the preserved lemon that I have in the jar in my kitchen right now. In about 3 weeks, we'll make another video talking about what we're gonna do with those. But I'd like to hear your suggestions. Thanks for watching, and remember what Bob and I always say.